How's it going, YouTubers? Okay, so if you haven't worked this out already, this is the Line 6 Pod HD500. And what I'm going to show you now is how to get a solo boost using the effects loop on the actual unit itself. So normally how I would set this up would be I go guitar in, then I come out the output, I go into a graphic, come out of the graphic, and then go straight into the amp. Okay, now this can be a little bit unpredictable, to be honest, because these things kind of get knocked and you know what it's like when you gig and stand in the dark and kind of this goes on and it's, don't need that anymore. So what you're going to need, okay, and this is the bit where my filming shaky hand bit comes into play, is one of these. So that is a short patch cable, okay. So we take one end of the short patch cable and we insert it into the effects send on the Pod HD500. We then take the other end and we put that into the effects return left mono. That's it. First stage is done. So it should look like this. Okay. Obviously the shorter the lead, the tidier it's going to be. Okay, so here's our screen. And we should just focus there. Okay. So this is the navigation button. Excuse the big fat fingers getting in the way, but there's nothing I can do. Okay, so this is just a standard patch that I don't ever use. So I've got a Line 6 drive, the wah, blank space for where I'm going to put the solo boost, and there's our amp. Okay, just in front of the amp, I find this is the best place to put this. Okay, but it's up to you where you do it. Your sound is your sound. So, using this navigation button here, we're going to go to the blank spot that we've got, go to our number 1, scroll all the way over to the right, and we get to effects loop. And you see it there just appearing. Okay. Now I'm going to go to dial number 3. Now this is the bit that we really need to pay attention to. First up on the display is send, and that's set to 0. We want to leave that as it is, okay? Don't touch it. So we go across again to return. Now, your return is the actual dB boost that activates when you stand on the pedal, when we get to that bit in a bit. So we're going to go to 4, and I always set mine up to sort of 10 dB. Okay, you can go as much as you like, but for me 10 dB gives it that nice boost without sort of tearing people's faces off. And then going across to the right again, and you come to mix. Now mix has to be set to 100%. Okay, again, your sound is your sound, but for me and for the other billions of people that have discovered this, 100% is where the mix has got to be, because you're getting the true value of the loop and the boost. Okay, it doesn't interfere with it in any way, it doesn't distort it or nothing, it gives it a nice clean boost. Okay, happy with that? So we're going to then double click on the enter, and that shows you the values of what we've just done. Okay, so come back to view. I'm going to hold this enter button down now, and I'm going to assign it to one of the foot switches. Okay, so I'm going to hold this down, FS3, which is obviously this one. Okay, so obviously what you want to be doing is then figuring out where you want to put it by turning number 1. See them changing. Okay, so for argument's sake we'll leave this on FS3. So what will happen now is when I put save, perplex, push it again, save, that's it. Okay, so when I push FS3, yeah, it's off. The light lights up, it shows you there that it's on. Okay, off, on, off, on, and that is it. Okay, now personal taste and a couple of other little tips. It's always best and it's clearer if it's just before the amp. Alright, if you've got a multi-amp system going on, it shouldn't really matter anyway. You're just going to have to figure out where you want to put it. You can put it after the amp. It's entirely up to you. Again, your sound is your sound, but I've tried it 3 or 4 different ways, and just before the amp is way better and it's way clearer. One thing that I will say is when you do this, it does seem to pick up a little bit more noise as such, almost like it's a tube amp sort of going a full tilt. So normally what I'd do is just after that, or just before that loop that we've just put in, I'd put another noise gate if I've got room to put it in. Okay, most of my setup is quite simple. It's normally amp, reverb, delay, screamer, or a distortion pedal. So I've normally got plenty of room within the line to do what I want. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Any questions, just ask and I will try my damnedest to answer them for you. And just remember the tips. Thanks for coming to the channel. Don't forget to click the button and subscribe. Goodbye to you. Have a good day.